Hello and welcome. I don't know what lesson number this is, but I've been having so much fun working with the lions. So it's another lion today. And I'm going to start off with red china marker, working from this photo that I purchased. And I hope you're not tired of lions by now. All right, so, like I said, I hope you're not tired of lions yet. Let's see, I can't read, my glasses need cleaning. Hey Trina, how are you? I'm working in alcohol ink again. I've been having a lot of fun with it. So this is another alcohol ink lion. And I have these beautiful, my new favorite boards, which are by Da Vinci. And they have double, the front and the back are both primed. One side is smooth and one side is a little rougher, has a little bit of tooth to it. Yeah, so I really liked this lion's face yesterday. And I felt led to do another one. But this time, yesterday was the magenta. I wanted to do a magenta. This one I'm going to work in cool colors. I'm going to work in the turquoise and cobalt blues and purples. And it won't be as heavy on the warm colors. But let's see what happens. Let's see, do I need this to be lower? This one is, right, it's about that. If this is, okay, it does need to be a little bit lower, which is fine because otherwise I had this extra space down here. I mean, it's a beautiful day today here. It is sunny, but it looks really windy. It is really windy. I don't know if it's cold out there, but it's definitely sunny. I'm enjoying all the flowers that are in bloom. May and June flowers are so beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can make his mane wilder than yesterday even. Challenging myself to challenge myself. And I don't want these to be a copy of each other. I really want this one to impart inspiration to this one, but I don't want it to be super apparent that they're from the same photo. Well, I just don't want them to be matchy. So. And I haven't gotten tired of the cats. I do want to go back and do another eagle. And I saw an eagle today in a vision too, so that might come up, I'm not sure. All right, let me move my scarf out of the way so it doesn't get ink all over it. All right. So welcome and thank you for being here. And I don't always do this, but I decided to start with alcohol blending solution. And this is the Marabou ink, which is more diluted anyway, so it's probably going to get really, really pale. Actually, and there is no blending solution there, so I just ordered more ink this morning, but probably I should have ordered this one too. And then this is a very similar color. This is the Pinata, Jacquard Pinata Baja Blue, which is very, very similar, except it's a lot thicker and more intense, so I'm gonna add a little bit of alcohol to that over on the side. Let's see how similar they are. Yeah, even with alcohol, this one is still thicker. But and I do have the window open, but boy, the smell of it, the alcohol. It might be these Jacquard colors might have a stronger smell than the other ones. I don't know, but I'm noticing it now, and usually I don't notice it for quite a while. So that's probably what went on over there. And I'm just going to drop some cobalt on here, although it tends to be really dense. So I'm going to dilute it a little bit on the board itself. And I did order more yellow, but I am almost out. So this painting is not going to have a lot of yellow on it, I can guarantee you. So that's just a drop of alcohol. And that's already taken that away. Let me do. Vineyard. I don't know. Vineyard did well yesterday because I didn't overdo it. But sometimes it's a bit dense. So I have alcohol on this brush and I'm just kind of puddling it around. And that'll run in there. And oops, see this bleed I got going on here? I could wait for it to dry. I could scrub it out. I hadn't been watching up there in that section of the board. I don't totally want to take it out. It's an interesting happening. But I hadn't been watching it. She made its way down. Let's see. I actually might use some green on this, which is rare for me, but I might do it anyway. Right, I've got that Baja Blue, and I'm gonna add lettuce green. Since I'm gonna make this one more cool colors. Oops, and I also should make these boards, since this one's so wet, keep them apart so that this one doesn't start affecting that one. And so I just added 1 drop of green into the Baja Blue. You know what, that blue color tends to, like I said, be very sticky and need dilution, so I'm gonna add a drop of alcohol to it. And I'm not sure where I want to put this. I'm actually going to test it on this other board. It's pretty green. I just stuck my thumb in there. I put some alcohol in here to dilute it. And I'm just trying to get my board mostly covered so that I can understand the relationships. I don't want to put green elsewhere. I'm going to go back to this blue. And that's more dry, so it's like a new, you can see that it's reacting in a different way than if it was wet. You know, I'm just going to make his whole face blue for now. And then go back. And over here I lost the paw to the purple. The paw got purpled. And this is just alcohol that I'm kind of filling in these gaps with. Okay, what do I want to do with his eyes? Well, I could have gone for green, except, I don't know. I wasn't in as much of a green mood as I thought. Let's do this. Or I could just clean out the well and then it would be clean, but I didn't do that, so here we are. I like that green though. That green works for me. And I'm gonna do his features. Should I do his features then? I rarely use this orange because it winds up being kind of, the jacquard colors tend to be very Easter egg color for me, so I have to adapt them a lot. And so I'm going to use that. Actually, I'm going to use that Calabaza orange, and I'm going to add some alcohol blending solution. So I have 1 drop of orange and 2 drops of blending solution. And I'm going to need to make sure I got all the blue out of the brush before I touch this orange. I'm going to do his nose in orange for now anyway. Why not? You know how I like complementary colors. Let's see. Except when they mix and then they turn brown. But I decided I wanted to make his nose orange for now. And I wanted to put some in here. This part is dry. This part is mostly dry. I think it's shinier because it was more less dilute. So I think that's what's going on there. And I'm doing the highlight. But see how this orange is, I don't know, it's not an orange that has, doesn't have fire to it. It's really, I don't know how to describe it. So like over here, I got that by mixing a yellow with a magenta. That's how I got that orange. That's not dry yet. This is dry. But I'm going to get some mixing. It's like plastic lenses, you know, like a glass, 1 glass of orange, transparent orange over a glass of transparent blue. So you get like the one color in front of the others. So that's how these colors work. They're very sensitive to density and transparency. And even though this was really dark in the beginning, I kind of like it. Although sometimes if the colors are the darker colors are more highly pigmented, sometimes there can be problems later with them not lightening up. Okay, I wanna outline his eyes and nose and mouth, and so I can make sure I hold on to the face, and then I can play with everything else. So they kind of look like brothers. They don't look exactly like the same lion, which is good, because I did want some variation. I don't know. This was cobalt blue. That might not be enough impact on its own. You know, I'm going to use eggplant purple. That's a purple black, and then I can always put another color on top of it. And I owe it to myself to make a place for this color. It uses up a lot of alcohol to clean these wells out. So I'm just going to kind of move this color over to the side a little bit. And I don't totally have to get rid of it since the color I'm putting in there is darker. But I decided to not to waste color. Actually, speaking of not wasting color, I'm going to take some of that purple that's still on this brush and go in there. Why not? And it should have more of a reddish tone to it than what was there, which was the cobalt. And that color is, what is that color? Color is boysenberry for the most part, by Ranger. Ranger makes that color. So at this point it's very transparent, so you just see a little bit of reaction, but more you see overlay of color. And I was going to go and line the eyes, but I decided to wait once I saw that purple. And this brush just has like a real transparent version, and I'm hoping that the separation of the bristles will show up. You know, all right. Okay, going back to what I said I was going to do. Alright, so this is eggplant, which is dark purple black, which is why I love it. And come back up here to the eyes. Whoops. Alright, so one of the things that I love about the alcohol inks is that they bleed. One of the things I don't love about the alcohol inks is that they bleed. So I don't know why that decided to go that way. I liked that green, but it's gone. Alright, so since I have the original red of the China marker, I'm going to go back with a really bright orangey red and paint that in later, not at this minute. But I like to look for cues as I work of where the painting wants to go. And I think this one needs to be a bit rounder. Oh, he's awesome. Wow. Let's see where he winds up. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm not that crazy about that orange, so I gotta work on another orange, so I'm gonna use this. Hey Tracy, how are you? Alright, I gotta wipe my glasses because I got fingerprints on my glasses and I can't see that well. I wear them for like magnifying glasses on my eyes so I can get all the details. Alright, so this is one drop of Jacquard Sombre Yellow. And I'm going to add, there, he left it out. There's already, you can't see it because that paper towel is so dirty. But if I do this, I can. Okay, now you can see it. That there was already a little bit of pigment on there. So I'm going to put this raspberry color over in the next wall. So that way I don't over pink it. You know, like overthink it. I don't over pink it. And actually, so I want this to be very clean and not mixed with the color underneath. So this is just alcohol on this brush because there was so much blue there that when I put the yellow down, it just started to make green. Although it would look pretty cool if I let it be green and went back over it with the orange. So, but let me clean this out a little bit. And likewise over here. Because since these colors are really like panes of glass, they're not opaque at all. The way I'm using them, the color underneath affects. And sometimes that's a really great thing, and sometimes it's a pain. Oh yeah, and here. See, here I go chasing rabbits again. I have this greenish yellow sitting over here that I'm aware of now that this is on top of the white, so this might be good for his eyes. Isn't that cool? That's a good color. Okay, back to orange. So I gotta clean the green out of my brush. going back to this top lining of the eyes. And I also thought about doing it underneath too. But this time I'm not cleaning out underneath and seeing what color I get. He looks a little bit angry the way I've done him so far. Well, because of the top lining. Well, let's see. Alright, here's a raspberry. Now, I probably should have left more space between the eyes. His eyes are a little bit closer set, which actually does happen in some lions. But I hadn't realized that. Hadn't realized that that's what I did. But oh well. I can always move them if I need to. Alright, I'm going to go back with blue. Blue. I was just thinking. And actually, I'm going to take a little bit of green too. And see if the green works on his face. And then go back with blue. He doesn't look so angry right now though, that's awesome. Oh, I had thoughts. I had thoughts that I was going to take some of that orange. I'm gonna go back. I just sprayed some isopropyl alcohol with water. I have some in a water bottle. But I didn't want to get spots all over because the alcohol will make spots. And sometimes I use that as a tool, but I didn't do that on either of these guys. Not that I can't. So you can see that this orange has a lot more life in it than the last orange that I used, the Calabaza orange. It just doesn't have the fire that I like. I'm sure it has a purpose. So the way the alcohol inks work is that the alcohol in the fresh ink, or if you're just adding alcohol or alcohol blending solution, creates, reacts with the previous color. So it gets, you get some, if it's wet, you get bleeding, blending, merging, you get some ripples and things like, I haven't done that much on this one yet. Okay, and I'm also gonna spray this one. Now, I'm not copying this one at all. I'm really just working from, I worked from this photo for both of them. So this is, what is this? This is mostly Baja Blue by Jacquard. And that has a lot of alcohol in it, and the alcohol starts some bleaching. So you see that go like that. And my table is a little wonky, so I'm going to lift this up so that the ink doesn't spread down towards his face. I want that to be more in his mane. And I kind of like all that variation. I could also use my eco-friendly straw that, you know, is biodegradable. That was the word I was looking for. So where I blow on this, where the air pushes it, it will create a more transparent section, which I might want or might not want, depending. And this is that same color, but over top of the orange, it starts reacting in different ways. So I've got some other things going there. I do kind of want to keep an eye on what's going on over there so I don't come back and find out that it bled all the way down here like that did, but that actually worked out really nicely after I embraced it. This is that same Baja Blue. And I guess one reason he also looks a bit more intense is because he has these dark purple patches under his eyes. So between the color, the way I drew the eyelids, and the shaping, he looks a bit more hungrier than this one. And I don't know, I like that this color is different from the rest, but I don't know, maybe too much. So I'm taking that blue in there. I'm going to give some more space between the eyes. Actually, I like that. And although he still looks like he's got something to say. And he definitely has something to say. He's funny. But I'm trying to not think Lion King here with Mufasa and, you know, Scar or whatever his name was. So I'm probably going to try to soften him up a little bit. And here where I've done strokes that overlapped, and you can see where the alcohol has gone in and is bleaching out. So that's what I was talking about, where the alcohol has reactions. All right, I can make him a little friendlier by adjusting his eyes. Although, you know, he's definitely better. There are some pretty cool eyes, though. Let's see. What do I want to do to him? I'm thinking. So this is more magenta. that here. I guess it's also the red upper lids. Okay, take the well, they turned out red because I did orange. Let me go back and see what happens the second time. So the alcohol will go in and bleach a little bit. He looks a little more chill now than he did. But I have to adjust his eyes. This is, what is this? This is that yellow. It was some bright yellow. He looks a little bit less menacing now. And this is an eggplant purple. Okay, I'm not sure what to do right yet, except I know that I want to play a little bit with magenta, so I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. Hey, Judy. Same photo, two different ways, two different color versions. Decided that I wanted to try one with more blues and purples. So when I go back with another application of the magenta, it's another application of alcohol also, so it tends to lighten. So if I don't get it as light as I want the first time or more intense, I go back, and usually when it's dry, so that I don't get bleeding unless I want it to bleed. Alrighty. With me, it's always like I'm one step away from putting magenta on everything, like yesterday. So I'm trying to make the warm tones be minor players in this one. That's like my challenge to myself. So slowing down because I'm trying to figure it out as I go. More magenta. Because see how when I go back, it gets brighter. And even though I put it on top of the cobalt's so dense that it doesn't change too much. And then this is just alcohol because I think his forehead would be helped by coming forward. So I'm going to go back with alcohol and kind of carve that out a little bit. And like where I got this bleed of the cobalt that was so beautiful, and yet it's standing in my way. So like I said, sometimes the dense colors can be so dense that they don't move, they don't behave the same way. All right, so I have to figure out what I'm going to do over here with his mane. I could come back with this pale yellow, which might only be sunbright yellow plus alcohol. I can't remember how that got to have that lemony tone to it. It might just be that, because it was there before. It was there from yesterday, so I don't know if I mixed, if it had blue in the brush and that's where that came from. I don't remember. So what I'm doing now is just bringing light in, trying to stick with a cool color palette wherever I can. Although I don't know if I'll last till the end of the painting that way because I love warm colors so much. But it's my challenge today. And what else? I'm also not super into greens, so although here the greens against the purples, I like those. So wherever I want to build depth in, I'm pretty happy with the face. Maybe I do more adjustment on the nose and forehead but I'm pretty happy with the face. So if I can play with the mane and make something happen there, it should function pretty well. Maybe it sounds strange to talk about a painting functioning, but you know, they do. All right, let me try something else. All right, that's still wet, so I have to wait a minute. But so when I add alcohol, it will bleach out and lighten, so I can do some things. And same down here. And I could blow on them with the straw. I could just, whoops. This is just alcohol with a teensy bit of pigment. I can just go in with that and watch to see how it reacts. But if it doesn't have much pigment, it'll probably just mostly bleach. But it has a slight yellow to it. Slight yellow. And I feel like I need something else to happen there. Kind of lost that orange. So I'm going to go back and try to get that back up again. See, that got brighter. I'm going to take that into here. Because remember I said I wanted a transition color. It does a little bit, but it's not going real far. Because that color is really dense and this doesn't have that much pigment in it. Now I don't like the background color. I don't like this green. I don't think it's helping the painting at all. I'm going to do something else with it. I'm going to... The urge is to put in magenta. Let me check in with myself and see if that's what I want. What do I want? Part of me says, hey, I need more colors. What if I made it dark red? Let's see what would happen. Let's see if I put... I mean, that'll affect that, so I have to be careful what I do there. And it's definitely not going to be the final color in the background. Because what I've got right now is transparent red over transparent green, which kind of makes a transparent gray color. And definitely not what I want. kind of want a yellow at this point. Actually, I want a really bright color. I'm going to turn him upside down. They look good together. Actually, I could mask off here. I'm going to mask off the back. And I'm going to move this one because I don't want to spray that one. Okay. Okay. All right, so wherever I wanted to spray is going to get affected with this pebbling kind of effect, and I didn't want it everywhere because if you have it everywhere, it winds up not being effective. And I also, you know, because the spray tends to go way farther than you expect, I also moved, that's why I moved everything out of the way. So I thought it was only fair to warn you in case you try this at home. But that is something that happens. And I also kind of wanted to adjust him as well. Like, these guys are similar. So I thought about adjusting him as well. But that might have to wait until tomorrow. Right, well, it is a better background now because I have got more variations of color. I still think I'm going to try to make it a bright yellow. And I need more alcohol. So I do have the lemon. I also have the lemon, lettuce green color that I could use. And that brush had lots of red in it, so it's a good thing I wiped it. All right, going back. So I'm pretty sure that's better. That is better. It might still be too busy, which I can go back and just kind of pull the brush across it to clean it off a little. So that's better. And I don't really mind the red coming up behind it. I might even want it a little bit more yellow. Because it looks like backlighting because the face is so dark with all the cool colors. It looks kind of like his face is in shadow and there's light coming behind him. And the reason I'm wiping the brush off in between is because as I drag the brush across, I pick up the other colors underneath it. And if I don't wipe this brush off, I'll just kind of mix that yellow into the other color instead of kind of cleaning it out, which was what I wanted. All right, I like that a lot better than what was on there. And let's see. All right, so there's a lot of green coming up behind this orange. So this is just alcohol on my brush. I'm going to clean out a little bit. Now it's a lot more fiery. See that? Because the yellow started to create oranges, and then I'm going to bring these up. This is a lot more like me. Now, it's not all about me, is it? It's not about me at all. And this is just alcohol. I'm coming back on the beard. And the alcohol should just bleach, you know, but I'm also pulling with the brush. All right, I was gonna go back with orange, more orange. That should be dry. If it's not, the color will bleed. All right, and now I remember that when I did this eye, that purple bled in here, so I'm gonna go and reshape. And I do like some of the puddling I got here. I'm not sure what else I want to do there. To be honest. It's a little bit of raspberry. You know me. I do love my warm colors. And how could I wear the sweater today and not want to put this color in? Seriously. It's all part of the plan. I don't know how effective that is. I'll see. I don't really see it doing anything. Probably because there was so much of this blue from the start. So this is alcohol. I'm going back and cleaning out a little bit. And I'm going to go back again. Oops. That might have been too much. If it's too much, I can blot a little bit of it out. So that's some Marabou Caribbean Blue, which has more alcohol in it to begin with, so it reacts more. And this is the same Caribbean Blue. I'm just brushing it on there because I wanted to bring some light to the front paws. All right, I wanna get a. All right, so here's my magenta. The mane has like a second level. It's fuller than it's, you know, it goes fuller out to the side. Okay, this is the trouble. I get in trouble with this color. So let's see. All right, if I take 1 drop of Jacquard magenta and I add, where is boysenberry? Boysenberry purple. By Ranger inks to it, which is more diluted, but it's a denser color. And then I add alcohol blending solution to that. That was more dry by the time I got there. All right. Oops. Didn't mean to drop that one. But I'll leave the rest of it and see what happens. Okay, what was I doing? I was going back here. I was going back to the main back here. And trying to bring light in here and definition. And moving this so it doesn't start running over there. I'm not that upset about that. That was not a major area of love. It was okay. It was fine. And this is that magenta boysenberry color. So that brought in some nice things here. I'm putting it on, but I'm pulling the brush down so that the white of the board comes up more and brings light in. And there. I don't know, I'm not quite sure. Not sure about my current state here. I'm gonna let things dry and clean up the chin. Go back and clean up the chin with alcohol. It's just a little bit of magenta. Magenta. And it seems like I need a little bit more dark here. And I'll probably have to go back with more alcohol and boysenberry purple. I want to bring out some things. So as lovely as that is, I think it just looks a little bit dark. You know, I'm just going to connect this shape. Because it doesn't function as shadow. It functions as a lot of dark, beautiful shapes connected. But I wanted it, for the sake of the lion, I'm kind of bringing that in. And I'm going to move this over again so it doesn't, I don't get any on there. And then I'm going to come back down here. Because the light brings things forward. And I do want to do more with his eyes, so I have to do that too. And I think I definitely had more magenta on the chin previously, to that bleed, previous to that bleed. All right, I'm going to go back and clarify his eyes a little bit. I kind of want to have turquoise in his eyes, so I'll come back here. So now the pupils are a turquoise color, and the alcohol started to lighten in there because I went back over it. I like that. And this is just alcohol. Well, that was better. Whoops. That answers the question as to did I clean that brush? The answer was no. I didn't. I thought it was still yellow in there. Alright, so far I stuck to my plan of keeping the colors mostly cool colors, and it's not doing too badly. He's pretty cool, although I need to bring clarity in somewhere in that edge. And let's see, what was my plan with the yellow? I forget. It was bringing some wants to bring some warm tones in. This is why I'm running low on yellow, folks, because I use it. I use it. So if you can, maybe you can't see because my stuff's in the way, but here, I can move this. Trying to get this top edge to really light up. And it had, and then I went back and I did the yellow around it, so whatever alcohol touched that, you know, kind of affected. So there we go. I gave you that too. More. Yeah. Better. And the reason why I'm using the same color all over is because it doesn't look the same when I put it down, because it's overlapping other colors, and so it doesn't turn out the same depending where I put it. Because normally that's a no-no in Artland to do the same thing all over a painting. But here, there's whatever I put on is affected by what's underneath it, and that's all different. So since that varies, results will vary too. Now, as bright as that looked when I put it on, it got affected by the greenish color behind it. So going back, not everywhere, just where I wanted it to be super bright. Because at this point it will start looking the same since I just went over some areas. Nice, huh? I just love when they light up. But it took a lot of digging out because there was so much dense blue underneath from where I started. Okay, so just gonna lightly brush this on here, and I still have to decide. Well, I have to decide if I want to keep this white. I have to decide. I had thought about doing something on the edge of this beard at the bottom, which probably is still a really good idea. And not the same thing I just did lots of other places. So, all right, see. So like right here, I'm just gonna take my brush, alcohol, and wipe that ridge made by the color. For the edge of the mane. I really like this lead, but I can go behind it. You know, but you can't always keep everything. Sometimes you just gotta let go. So, this is just alcohol. Just lightening that up. Just alcohol lightening that up. I can need some yellow in there. This is just alcohol here. I'm just carving out definition. Although it might be too pale, and then I might have to add pigment again. Just saying. And it's just alcohol there. I like that stroke. Like I said, it might dry and be, you know, looking complete. So we'll just roll with whatever happens. And I'm going to put some yellow on here, which hopefully will turn it more orange. And if I look at this one now and look back at this one, it's easier for me to see it. So trying to scoop up whatever of this color still exists down here. Alright, I just wanted a touch of warmer color to make those arms come forward. And who knows? I guess that's just about it. I guess so. I don't know if there's a glaring problem that I am being oblivious to or not. It's just a little bit of yellow. I don't know, but I think that's the farthest I can go with this painting at this moment. So that's where I'm going to leave it. And I'll have to take a look at it later. Oh, let's see. Looking at comments. Hi, Connie. Hi, Nora. Hi, Louise. How are you? Anyway, so anybody have any comments or questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I'll be happy to answer. What else? So I'll be on tomorrow, probably just after 3 again, because I have a webinar Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I don't know if I'm painting lions again tomorrow. I don't know. I wait until I ask God what he wants me to paint, and he tells me. So that's whenever he decides to tell me. And so I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow yet. And so thank you. I'm most grateful for you all. I love you, and I pray for you. I hope you're well and provided for and safe. All right. See you guys.